Welcome to my class. In today's class, we are going to discuss one of the important chapters, that is the human growth and development. The human growth and development. Like learning, which is going to be a continuous process from the birth till your death. Like that, even this growth and development is going to be the lifelong process, that is from your birth till your death. That we are going to see stage by stage. So today we are going to discuss what is the meaning of growth and development. What are the 8 stages of growth and development? What are the difference between the growth and the development? And what are the childs develop in the first stage, that is infancy stage? What is the development? These are the 4 subtopics which we are going to see today. So going with the first, that is the meaning of the growth and development. Growth. Growth is the change in size, in proportion, disappearance of old features and acquisition of the new one. I just underline that there will be a change in the size and it will be a proportion one. And the old features, that is the appearance what you were in the younger age, will not be same when you grown up, when you are in the old age. So there will be a complete growth. So the new features comes in you and the old features disappears. So to make it short and sweet, what is the growth? Growth is nothing but there will be a change in the proportion. And what is this development? Development means progressive series of changes that occur in an orderly, predictable pattern as a result of maturation and experience. So here you have to understand and keep in mind with one important, that is predictable pattern, and there will be an orderly predictable pattern where there will be development in your maturity, that is maturation level, and as well as experience. So when the years go by and for every year you will be gaining the experience. So the growth is nothing but the change in the size, and the development is nothing but orderly, predictable pattern as a result of maturation and the experience. This is the meaning of the growth and the development. Now we will see what is the difference between the growth and the development. Yes, there are difference. It is not same. The first point in the growth. The term is used in purely physical sense. So when I talk about the growth, it is completely the growth of the physic. Physic in the sense the complete body. It generally refers to increase in the size and the length. Size and the length. This is the first point in the growth. And the second one is, that is the development. The first point in the development is a progressive series of changes that occurs as a result of maturation and learning. So this is completely of maturation and learning. The growth is completely of size and the length. So we will see what is the second difference. In the growth, it is completely quantitative aspect because it can be measured. It can be measured. That is why we call it as change in the quantitative aspect comes into the domain of growth. So you can see in your naked eyes whether there is growth or not. But in the development, it is completely qualitative. That is said like this: change in the quality or character rather than the quantitative aspect comes in this domain. The second point is quantitative, here it is qualitative. This is the second difference between the growth and the development. We will move on to the third point. That is, it is a continuous process. That growth is not a continuous process, but the development is a continuous process. The growth is going to stop in one stage when a human is going to attain the maturity level. That is, growth does not continue throughout life. It stops when maturity has been attained. But the development is a continuous process like learning. In previous I said that it is like a learning process. It is going to continue throughout the life. Like that, the development is going to be throughout the life. But growth is going to stop when a person attains the maturity level. Yes. The next point is the changes produced by growth are subjected of measurement. They be quantified. So it is nothing but we can measure the growth because it represents in size or the length. So it is easy to measure whether the growth has happened with this particular individual or not. But when it comes to the development, we can measure but indirectly. It cannot be measured directly by growth. That is what it is said like this. Development implies improvement in functioning and behavior, and hence they bring qualitative changes which are difficult to be measured directly. So if you want to measure a learning process of a child or an individual, directly you cannot measure. Indirectly, by giving some test or with getting his experience or getting by the feedback, you can measure it. So the fourth point what we have seen, growth is measurable and this is measurable but difficult directly. Difficult directly. Then we will move on to how the growth happens. Growth is cellular. It takes place due to the multiplication of the cell. So as we said, the first growth, that is the single cell, then it is being multiplied. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 6. This is what the cell, and the cell is joined together to make a tissue, and tissue joins together to make an organ. This is how we are built. The humans are built, and all the living beings are built. So in the growth, it is multiplication of the cell. And what is in this development? Development is the organizational. It is organizational of all the parts which growth and differentiates have produced. So there is completely different from multiplication of the cell. And the last point in the difference of growth and development is growth may or may not bring development. So you have grown up or you have not grown up. It may bring development on you. For example, increase in the brain weight. It may happen or may not happen. Development is also possible without growth. Intellectual functions and abstract thinking. So you have seen many reality shows in that a small kid come and explains completely the economy of a world, the universe. It is how there is no growth happen, but the development is happened. In few other cases, we have seen the child has completed his graduation, but he is not able to explain what is an economy or etc. Whatever it may be related to a general knowledge. So it all comes under the growth. So even if there is a growth, but not brings development. But it is a development, if you doing that, it is completely of intellectual function and it is abstract thinking. These are the 6 difference between the growth and the development. Next we will move on to the stages of human growth and development. See, in that we have total 8 stages of human growth and development. In that again in one few stages, that is couple of stages is being divided into early and the later. So that we will discuss in clear now. So the 8 stages, we are going to see now 8 human stages. The first 8 human stages are, the first one is prenatal. It is nothing but the conception to birth. So you can see the image to make the concept more clear. The image is also put it on the slide. And the second one is infancy, that is from birth to 2 years. That is from birth to 2 years. And the third comes childhood The childhood is being divided into two. That is early childhood, that is 2 to 6 years, and comes later childhood, that is from 6 to 12 years. Then followed by adolescence, that is 12 to 19 years. Then come adulthood. Again the adulthood is being divided into two, early adulthood and later adulthood. When I say early adulthood, again you have to make sure that you know what is the age of that stage. So early adulthood stage comes between 19 to 40 years, and the later adulthood, that age falls between 40 to 65 years. And 65 and above, in common, we say that it is a old age. We say that it's a old age. So just to summarize, what are all the stages? There are total 8 stages in the human growth and development. The first one is prenatal stage, that is conception of birth, that you will be in the mother's womb. And the second comes infancy stage, that is from birth from 2 years. It falls between birth to 2 years. Then comes the childhood. Again the childhood is being divided into two, that is early childhood and later childhood. That is from 2 to 6 years is called early childhood, and the later childhood is between the age 6 to 12. Then comes the adolescence age, that falls between 12 to 19 years. After that comes adulthood. Adulthood again it is being divided into two, that is early adulthood and later adulthood. Early adulthood age is from 19 to 40 years, and the later adulthood is from 40 to 65 years. And comes after 65, we call it as old age. So 65 to death. If you cross the age of 65, you will be called as a old age. So this is all about the age stages. Today we are going to see only one stage. What is the growth and development in infancy stage? That is from birth to 2 years. We are going to see only one stage today. What is the development of a human, of a living being? What till up to 18 months. So it has been listed like this. 2 months after the birth, that is from birth to 2 years. That is we are considered as infancy age. In 2 months, able to lift the head. A baby, we call it as a baby. So a child will be able to lift the head, and in the 3rd month can roll over. In the 4th month, the baby can sit. In the 6th month, able to sit without support. So in the 4th month, when a baby can sit with the support, and when it comes to the 6th month, it is able to sit without support. In the 7th month, begin to start holding onto the thing. So it begins to start walking, move by holding or taking the support of any object. And in the 10th month, is able to monitor standards on your own. So it's in the 10th month that happens. In 11th month can stand alone. So without the parent support, without any object support, in the 11th month a baby can stand by its own without any support. And in the 12th month begin walking without support, and in the 14th month can walk backward. It is not only going forward or moving forward, even in the month of 14 it start walking backward. And in the 17th month can walk up steps, that is going upward in the upstairs or staircase, or just climbing a step. So it can move in the month of 17, and in the month of 18 able to manipulate objects with feet while walking. So it can manipulate the object which is lying down or any toy with their feet. So this is what the complete growth as well as development happen in this stage. Which stage is that? It is infancy stage. Like that, in all the other stages, we are going to see two things changes. That is, one is physical, and the second thing is cognitive changes. These are the two things which we are going to see all remaining 7 stages of human growth and development. To summarize today's class, we studied and discussed that the meaning of the growth and development. Growth is all about the size, length, and the development is all about the experience and the maturity. And we saw what are the difference between the growth and development. We saw it is the growth is going to stop at the time of maturation, but the development is a continuous process. Growth can be measured, development cannot be measured directly. Growth is all about the size and the length. Development is all about the maturation and the experience and the learning. So these are the 6 differences which we saw. And we saw the 8 stages of human growth and development. That is infancy stage, that is from 0 to 2 months, that is from birth to 2 months. Before that comes prenatal stage, that is where the child or the baby is in mother's womb. And the third comes the childhood. Then comes the adolescence, then comes the adulthood, and then comes the older age. So this is all 8 stages which we have just discussed. In that we have seen elaborately the stage, the first stage, that is the infancy stage. That is what is the growth and development of a child from 2 months to 18 months. When it sits, when it walks behind without the support, how it manipulates the object with the feet in all different stages in different months. That growth and development we have seen. This is all about today's class, and we will be meeting in the next class to discuss more about the other stages of human growth and development. Thank you very much. Good day.